Hey guys, check this timeline out. This point here is you quitting porn. And what can be so nasty here is that many people expect to start feeling better right away, like this. Now, sure, some people do actually start feeling good very quickly. But if you're addicted to porn, what's more common is to first start feeling bad for a while and have a drop like this, before you slowly start climbing back up and start feeling more and more awesome over time, like this. Yeah, and obviously this drop here happens due to withdrawals. Yeah, so if you didn't know, one can really have withdrawals after quitting porn. And for some people, these withdrawal symptoms can actually be really nasty. And the most common things guys are feeling here is low mood, irritability, insomnia, lack of energy, lack of motivation and drive. And it's also very common to have an increase in anxiety. Here's just one quote from one guy talking about this. Quote, "Here's what I'm dealing with. Irritability, fatigue, inability to sleep. Even sleep aids don't help much. Trembling, shaking, lack of focus, shortness of breath, and depression." Unquote. Oh wow, yeah, and here's another guy. Quote, "Withdrawal is just nasty. I had very bad insomnia for a stretch. I even got violently sick. Maybe it was from withdrawals, maybe something else. I still don't know, but it was brutal from all angles regardless. Emotional things come up heavily. Depression, strange anxieties, worthlessness. It was everything that I had been struggling with all at once. It was like having a really bad day times 10. Unquote. Yeah, so you see the withdrawals can be really nasty, and the time it takes for the withdrawals to go away is going to depend on the person. But in general, one can say that most people start to feel a whole lot better after about 3 to 4 weeks or so. But you guys have to remember that things will get better, and not just a little better, but a whole lot better. So you just have to pursue patience and keep on pushing. You can do this, guys. I promise you, you can. In fact, I just yesterday watched a video with the addiction expert Anna Lembke, who showed some pictures of the dopamine system 2 weeks after quitting an addiction. And in those pictures, you can clearly see how the dopamine transmission and the dopamine receptors were still painfully below average. Now, those pictures were of drug addicts, but you should know that all addictions share the same fundamental brain changes. Even behavior addictions like internet addiction, gambling, and porn addiction. Yes, and here's something really interesting. At one point, Anna got the questions about speeding up recovery and things like internet and phone addiction and what would be a good thing to do for things like that. And she just immediately answered dopamine fasting. For example, doing a dopamine fast for 24 hours or even shorter at times or longer protocols at times. She also talked about how pushing on the pain side can help to reset the dopamine system. You see, it's by exposing ourselves to too much pleasure that we have changed our dopamine set point in a negative way. And by doing the exact opposite, in other words, doing healthy, painful stuff, we can help tilt the balance in the other direction and potentially help speed up the recovery. And so now you say, what could be some healthy, painful stuff then? Well, some good examples could be, for example, running or physical exercise in general. Or my personal favorite, taking cold showers. Yes, cold showers are very painful in the moment, but according to some smart people out there, they can really help to upregulate your dopamine receptors and reset your dopamine system. And the reason I love cold showers is because they are quick to do and you can do them often. I mean, if you go too hard with running, for example, you will quickly just burn yourself out. But it is very difficult to burn out your nervous system by taking cold showers too often. That doesn't really happen. Obviously, if you're not used to them, you have to use your head here and build it up and don't go totally crazy from the start. I have just recently started a challenge for myself to take 500 cold showers in 1 year. I just printed out a paper with 500 squares, put it on my bathroom wall, and after every cold shower I take, I will put an X in one of those squares, and then I just keep on building and collecting those X marks. And I have to say, I like these kinds of challenges better than building streaks, because if you miss a day with a streak system, you run the risk of just quitting since you broke the chain. But 500 cold showers in 1 year means I will have to take 1.37 showers per day on average. And so unlike building a streak with this one here, if I miss a day every now and then, I can just make up for it later on by taking 2 or 3 showers one day later on, and so on. And speaking of dopamine fasting and speeding up the recovery time, if you're interested in diving deeper into this, then I can leave a link to my dopamine fasting online course below, because that course can really help with the recovery of your dopamine system. Here's just what Victor Martin has to say about the course. Quote, "I have bought your course, Bob, and I'm super happy. I truly believe that anyone who is detoxing from porn can greatly speed up their recovery with this. Perhaps instead of 90 days, it is possible in 40 days, unquote. Now, mind you, these are his words, not mine, so I can't promise you anything exact like that. I think you all can understand that. Here's just what another guy said in a comment under my very last video. Quote, "Thanks, Scandinavian Bob. I can't believe how consistently you hit the nail on the head, and this video is no exception. I highly recommend anyone struggling to subscribe to your dopamine fasting course. It has made a huge difference for me." Unquote. Yeah, and so if you're interested in discovering more about this, then you can read about this very course using the link below. And I also highly recommend you watch the video where Anna Lembke talks about withdrawals and the dopamine system, because it is a good one. You can see that video on the screen right here. Just click on that and it'll take you there. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today. Keep going and stay strong.